Hello guys, welcome to my presentation. And today I'm gonna present you guys about Indonesians LGBT rights, which I dedicated it to for my end semester examination from subject English. Well, without any further ado, let's go to the next slide. Okay, first, let me introduce myself first. My name is Muhammad Rizky Akbar with name 220810111 and 5. And well, that is my biography, I think. Well, without any further ado again, let's go to the next slide. Right now, I'm gonna explain you guys about three divided things or table of contents I have, which is the chapters one is about the human rights and its contents about human rights in general and also human rights in Indonesia. In chapter 2, we have the LGBT rights about forms of discrimination and also homosexuality in Indonesia. And for the ending, we have the chapter 3 for the closing, which contain personal opinion, which is it is my personal opinion, of course. Well, without any further ado again, let's go to the next slide. In the chapters 1 about the human's right in general, according to humanrights.gov.au, human rights recognize the inherent value of each person, regardless of background, where we live, what we look like, what we think, or what we believe. Respect for human rights in the cornerstone of strong communities in which everyone can make a contribution and feel included. They are based on principles of dignity, equality, and mutual respect, which are shared across cultures, religions, and philosophies. They are about being treated fairly, treating others fairly, and having the ability to make genuine choices in our daily lives. Well, let's go to the next slide. And we go jump to human rights in Indonesia. Human rights in Indonesia are defined by the 1945 Constitution and the laws under it. Several rights are guaranteed, especially as a result of the constitutional amendments following the reform era. According to law of the Republic of Indonesia number 39 of 1999 on human rights, the law describes and details human rights and fundamental freedoms. It is according from ILO.org and also FAO.org. Let's go to the next slide. Meanwhile, according to OHCHR.org, discrimination against LGBTI people undermines the human rights principles outlined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Yet, discrimination and violence against people in the LGBTI community are all too common. Homophobic, biphobic, and transphobic attitudes remain deeply embedded in many cultures around the world. Now we jump to the chapter 2 about the LGBT's right. It is content about forms of discrimination. According to OHCHR.org, in a human rights context, lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people face both common and distinct challenges. Intersex people, or those born with a typical sex characteristic, suffer some kind of human rights violation as lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people. They also face institutional violence within healthcare system with feeling consequences to their physical and psychological health. It is according to ohchr.org also. Next, still in the chapter 2 about the LGBT's right, homosexuality in Indonesia. Same-sex couple in Indonesia cannot legally marry. The law states that marriage is defined as being between a man and a woman as husband and wife. Indonesian lawyer and public defender Ma'ruf Bajamal questioned the government commitment to combating discrimination and to protecting the human rights of citizens. He said, the state should not criminalize a person only based on their sexual orientation. Bajama, who works for the legal nonprofit organization Community Legal Aid, and also conservative lawmaker Akram said sex between two same-sex single adults would be punishable under the bill if it was conducted in public. If the sexual is conducted secretly, you cannot be prosecuted, he said. And all of this is according to DW.com. Next. And we are here in my chapter 3 about closing, and it is content my personal opinion. I hope you guys could listen carefully from my sound. Okay. So, our LGBT must be banned in Indonesia. According to what I've been told about the human rights towards LGBT discrimination, I have two different insights, which is agree that LGBT must be banned in Indonesia, but I also disagree if LGBT be banned in Indonesia. Government always want to protect the citizen right from any kind of discrimination, including LGBT itself. And of course, there are still human beings who deserve to continue their life and choose a life path what they want. If the government ban the LGBT to be their own self, it is equal to government try to control their own desire. Well, moreover, according to DSM-5, or it is called to be Diagnostic and Statistical Mental Manual of Mental Disorders, which is the Handbook of Psychology, saying that LGBT is not a disorder. That is why I say that I disagree if LGBT be banned in Indonesia. In other hand, I also agree if LGBT be banned because Indonesia is known as the biggest Islamic country in the world. In Islam, LGBT activity is prohibited. Even though it is not said that if you are LGBT and you are not deserve heaven, the people still think that LGBT is the biggest trouble in this era. I have say Indonesia ban the LGBT activity if they do it in the public space. But if they do it in a private space, government cannot interfere their choice of life. Well, I think it is done. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your permission. And this is my English end semester examination. Thank you very much and goodbye.